Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are at episode 40. Yeah, you know how to say it.
40. Oh yeah. How much did the Cowboys put on the Eagles Monday? 41. 41. Just gonna put that out there. And I'm not done either.
Oh man, this is about to be fun. This is a fun episode already. But welcome everybody. We are episode 40, like this man Darien said. We done come a long way. You almost a year, man.
Yeah.
Almost a year of giving y'all
52.
We really came a long way.
A long
52.
way.
It's the year mark.
52, 12 weeks, man. That's about to be fun. But today, like I said, it's more of how it was last week. Just gonna be us four, but we're great, we're awesome, we're incredible. And we have a pretty good show for y'all. Gonna have some engaging conversation. Gonna bring up a lot of interesting points, interesting perspectives, and I'm looking forward to it. So the first one we're going to do, we literally just talked about it right before we're going on. Let's knock out the NBA. Sorry, WNBA. I'm gonna edit that. WNBA predictions in the playoffs. We have 4 teams left. It's Chicago, Connecticut, Phoenix, Las Vegas.
Yes.
Am I? All right. 4 for 4. So which one of these teams y'all think is gonna go all the way?
Vegas.
And if you can't predict that, you can predict the finals.
Vegas.
All right, so as much as I'm rooting for the Connecticut Terrapins, I know their official name is the Connecticut Sun, but they got so many Lady Terps on that roster. They are the Connecticut Terrapins to me. As much as I want to root for them, I think the Sky are going to take it.
I'm going. The finals are going to be Vegas and Connecticut. I think that was a rematch of last year. And I think Vegas is going to come out.
You said rematch of last year?
Yeah, was it last year's final?
No. Seattle won.
It was Seattle and okay. Oh no, because Seattle lost to Vegas. No, Vegas lost to Seattle in the semifinal. Well, Vegas is going to win against Phoenix. They're going to beat Phoenix, and then also Connecticut has the MVP in John Paul Jones, who was an absolute beast, product of PG County, Maryland, product of Riverdale Baptist.
That's tough. Man.
And yeah, I think it's gonna be Vegas and Connecticut, and Vegas is gonna come out on top. Asia's gonna get her ring. So will is Kim Page and fucking Bill Laimbeer, but
Sad. It's funny how Bill Laimbeer would literally never be an NBA coach because of the whole '90s shit. That shit is hilarious to me.
No, I just think he just likes being. I think he likes coaching on
the women.
No. Of course, of course. I know he. I'm just saying, like, if he ever wanted to, transition to the NBA, the fact that he wouldn't actually get like a fair chance, it's kind of crazy.
No, if Isaiah Thomas could get a coach and a GM role, I think Bill Laimbeer could.
Yeah, and Isaiah Thomas was trash. Let's just call it as
that's true.
It was not
That's
good.
very true.
Like especially as a G. Oh God, as a GM, he was awful. Oh Jesus, but this man basically set the Knicks back 10 years, bro, and that's not even an understatement. He did. This man was trading first round picks so far in the future, and then they all ended up being good players. It's absolutely crazy. Like
he probably did it on purpose.
Oh man, but I am not going against Darien because last time I did for the Super Bowl, I was so wrong. It was ridiculous. Like the Chiefs showed their ass, so I'm picking Vegas.
Honestly,
they
did not have an offensive line.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like they had no O line. It was just crazy. Like Pat Mahomes was really like having to shoulder all the work himself, and it's like you're not gonna one man beat Tom Brady. That's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So. Like I said, sadly, I've not been watching WNBA. I did catch a game the other day, but I've not been watching crowds as much as I should be because it's a good basketball. But I'm going with Vegas. I'm going to pick Vegas this time.
Can't go against Vegas, baby. Boom, boom.
Unless it's me, I'm going Chicago.
Unless I would pick Chicago. That's the one I know. Like that's the team I know from top to bottom. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Damn.
But it's just like. I just don't have that feeling. You know when you just don't have a feeling for something, it's like I'm not feeling Chicago winning it. I just can't see it. I have to see it to believe.
I mean, I see. I love Candace Parker so much, but I can't. Asia Wilson is basically become like my favorite female player. Two of my favorite players are on the same team: Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson. And then also I kind of watched something, because last year Asia Wilson she won MVP and she was on a mission, and then she lost to Seattle, who was, if Seattle wasn't battered with injuries, they probably would be playing Vegas. It will probably be Vegas Seattle again in the semifinal. But what was I saying? So like Vegas lost in the semifinal last year, and it was kind of one of those things where whoever came out of this conference was going to beat whoever came out of that conference. And I just feel like I feel like they're just on a freaking mission, I just think they're on a mission. They got the players to do it. I mean, so does Connecticut. I mean, they have the freaking MVP, but my heart's in Vegas. My heart and my soul is in Vegas. I'm riding with my girl Asia Wilson to the end. And that's that, man.
Me, I just feel like Candace Parker got a couple tricks left in the bag, and I feel like I'm not gonna go against Courtney Vandersloot. Like that's just one thing I'm not gonna do. So like that's why I'm picking the Sky.
That's one badass white girl.
She is. Hey, Darien. You know that meme where like it's Martin Luther King hugging that white guy and say, "You all right, white boy?" That's how I feel about Courtney Vandersloot.
Yeah, let's just not invite her to the cookout though.
Yeah, that's when we draw the line.
Funny as shit.
That is where we draw the line.
Funny as shit.
Y'all stupid, bro.
I like how I went silent before y'all said that too, bro. It's like
that is where we draw the line, though.
No cookout invite.
Damn, you said she and Max Kellerman, she not invited to the cookout.
Max
ain't invited either.
Yeah, I was about to say Max can stay his ass home too.
Woo, we not getting into that nonsense, but
right.
Woo, that was funny. But all right, love everybody's picks. Let's see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. We can actually call the game and it got me into it. I was like, okay, let me start making time for these. So, but the problem is most of the time,
start doing the same.
Most of the time when I do come on, I'm probably at work. So I was even lucky enough to even catch this one. But cross the fingers.
Yeah, that Connecticut Chicago game, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that Connecticut Chicago game went to 2 OT. That was a fucking thriller. And Vandersloot recorded the second triple-double in WNBA history. Playoff history. WNBA playoff history.
That's
her Russell Westbrook.
Oh, man.
That's a badass white girl right there.
Oh, man. Russell Westbrook. We're going to end up probably talking about that later in the NBA section. But, all right. So let's go to Richard Sherman getting signed to the Bucks.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
This man Tom Brady lose one game and start assembling the Avengers.
He's funny. I knew you was going to say that.
He lose one game.
Yeah, people was joking about that all day on social media. I was like, dang, Tom Brady already panicking. He already about to start recruiting. I'm like, y'all gotta chill. Oh man.
I mean, I kind of look at it like their secondary is pretty decimated though, because they lost
Josh Norman.
They lost 2 corners and a safety. Like week 1.
Oh wait, no, that's the Niners that had Josh Norman, but yeah, he injured too.
Niners, yeah, he was injured.
I want to say
on that Packers game. It's like, dang.
I want to say Murphy Bunting got hurt against the Cowboys, and then someone else had gotten hurt for Tampa. But
they definitely needed him. I mean, because the secondary was looking suspect. Like it's been looking suspect, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, it's early for a lot of these defenses. It's early.
Yep.
I think. See, I'm the type. I just look at the Cowboys and I'm just like, bruh, every time, like the Lions just released Jamie Collins. I'm like, the Cowboys. There's a team in Dallas.
Team in DC too.
There's a team in Dallas, but
It's a team in DC that definitely could use a linebacker.
But when I heard that the Titans got rid of Malcolm Butler, when I heard that Xavier Howard was looking to get traded, when I heard that Patrick Peterson was a free agent, who else? AJ Boye.
That's big.
All these corners, you know, plus Richard Sherman. I was just like, yo, just go out and get one of them. Our secondary was terrible last season. Just get somebody just to make Cowboys fans happy. Just go out and get someone. However, the Cowboys are just so known for just not doing a damn thing. And sometimes it works out for them, sometimes it doesn't. I guess in the first few weeks it's working out for us, but I'm not mad at Tampa taking Richard Sherman. It's not like this is the same Legion of Boom, don't you ever talk about me, Richard Sherman. No, this is...
Yeah, he's not in his prime, honestly. He still has it, but respectfully, he's not primetime Sherman. He's just not.
This is an ACL and an Achilles tear later, Richard Sherman. However, I still think he got it. You know, I think he can, he can hold his own, but he's not, he's not that dude that you just, he would, what Jalen Ramsey is now is what Richard Sherman was. He was hard hitting.
That's an accurate way to put it.
He was hard hitting. He was a talker, and he shut down one side of the field. He is a true shutdown corner. That's what Richard Sherman was. He is. I don't think he's that now, but I was done by the way.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I was just making sure. But yeah, I think it's gonna be very interesting, man. It's gonna be like this man said, loading up the Avengers. But it's funny how Richard Sherman, he's become one of those players where his name is really what his value is. 'Cause like we all just said, the man is not prime time no more. He's had a couple of crazy injuries that's kind of hampered him and slowed him down, but he could still be an impact player for sure. He's not an RG3 case where he's done.
And it's like, even if he can't, the dude could be a great mentor to the younger players in the Buccaneers secondary. Like he could come in, show them the ropes, and be like, "Hey, man, this is like if you're gonna be successful in the league, if you're gonna stay in this league for a long time, this is what you got to be doing." Like,
mind you, he is a Super Bowl champion, so yeah, that is.
And I like the fact that you said that because the Tampa secondary last year was, and of course they brought back everybody. So the Tampa secondary, like none of them are really no older than, at least most of them are no older than like 24, 25. You know, like Murphy Bunting, who got hurt last year was his rookie year. He had a killer playoff. And it was his rookie year. He was only like 23?
Yeah, 23.
23.
But and just adding Richard Sherman in there with that Tampa defense, who already plays lights out. I mean, they're bad against the pass because their secondary is decimated, but you can't run on them boys.
You cannot.
And people were trying to say something about Dallas
That is true.
and say, oh, well, Zeke and da-da-da-da-da. Bro, why would I continue to run my one of my star players into a brick wall and keep telling him to run his head into a brick wall?
Passing
into
was
the brick
working
wall
perfectly
that
that game.
is Vita Vea. I'm not doing that. If you watch Vita Vea in week 1, he was killing our center. Vita Vea is You want to talk about Maui off of Moana? That's who Vita Vea is.
Yeah, y'all pass game was going like Amari Cooper went off. That was his best game so far. I think he had like 11 receptions over like 100 yards. CeeDee Lamb was doing his thing. The pass game is really like the factor that really gets y'all like going. Honestly, Zeke, he's still looking a little suspect. I don't know. I still think he can get back to form. It's only week 3, honestly. So he can get back to his form. Yeah, that's all I was getting at. Yeah, but yeah, I'm just saying because he was in question and everything.
If you expect Zeke to look like 2016 Zeke, then you're going to be utterly disappointed. Zeke is
I don't think we're seeing like the superstar Zeke running back we thought. Yeah.
Yeah, Zeke is not going to be that 22 carries, 120 yards per game Zeke Elliott that we saw for those 2-3 years. Unfortunately that ship has sailed. And I mean, because remember he had that bad year last year and the year before, and I think he even got hurt the year before. He really hasn't been the same since. And now he's just getting back into shape. I don't hate the Zeke that we're getting. He's still power. I'm gonna run through you, Zeke, but he doesn't have those quick, fast moves, which is what we use Tony Pollard for. Skip Bayless calls Zeke thunder and Tony Pollard lightning. So what we're getting from Zeke is probably a more a more seasoned Zeke.
It seems like they're trying to preserve D. He doesn't want to get him hurt too, preserve his body as well. So it is kind of smart. Maybe give him less snaps, knowing that Zeke can get injured from here and there because the running back position is the toughest position in football. So, and knowing that you have Tony Pollard, it's like now they can actually split, reps between them two because Tony Pollard can go off and actually balance out the run game. Because that's actually a good comparison to say Thunder and Lightning. Because Zeke is like the running back that can really just run you over if he needs to, and Tony Pollard is very shifty. He can just go from side to side and just be down the field before you know it, catches you off guard in the screen. He has underrated speed, honestly. Tony Pollard does.
All right, but truth be told, I feel like the Cowboys, y'all don't really need Zeke to be 2016 Zeke. I mean, because you have a receiving core that's honestly one of the best in the league, and now you have
that's what I was saying too.
Dak Prescott, who I believe is a top 10 quarterback, and he's back healthy. Plus, you have a defense where it's they're better than last year, although the bar is low. And really, I like a couple of you guys on your defense, primarily Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs making that
a beast, bro. Micah Parsons,
making their name known. Because I said before the season, Micah Parsons has a pretty good chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year this year.
Yeah, and the thing, I've read something. It was a little snippet, a little tweet. I didn't really read the article, but it said that usually coaches, when you get a new offensive or defensive coordinator, they come in with their own playbook already, and now the players have to adjust to the system that they already have. However, Dan Quinn has came into Dallas and he's setting the system with the players that are already, he's building the system around the players that are already there. He didn't come in there with a playbook. He built the playbook as training camp and preseason and as the season is going on, which I think is just flat out great. And you see how the Cowboys are responding to it.
That's a good point.
That's brought up a lot.
One thing I'm gonna say though about the Cowboys matchup this coming week, bro, I'm gonna offer a bit of warning to Cowboys fans. Yes, Christian McCaffrey is hurt, but that does not mean this is
Chuba Hubbard is good.
This is not going to be like a slam dunk. It's not going to be like Cowboys by 50 or anything like that. Because Carolina, if like for those that have been paying attention, the Carolina Panthers currently lead the league in total defense, pass defense, run defense, and scoring defense. So yeah, Carolina's looking legit right now.
They're looking pretty good against that in that Houston game. Like we actually saw when
and it's not even,
when McCaffrey went down, we actually saw Sam
Darnold
take over like
Houston. And it's not even against Houston. They shut down the Saints a week after New Orleans put 38 on the Packers.
No, I'm just happy we're finally seeing Sam Darnold. Goes to show he was in a very toxic situation up in New York with the Jets. We're actually seeing him, in a settled, level, like stable, in the like situation in Carolina, we can actually like develop as a QB. And I feel as though has good chemistry with all his players because he's actually connecting on all his passes. Him and DJ Moore have a connection. DJ Moore, watch out for him. He can easily be a top 10 wide receiver in the league. Watch out for his name this season because through 3 weeks, his stat line is just crazy.
DJ Moore, another 301 product.
Yep, he's showing up his. Yep. So yeah, Carolina, they're currently undefeated as well, and McCaffrey being out. Hey, like, and they don't have a bad head coach either. Like Matt Rule, he's new, but hey, he has experience. He has that veteran experience. So Carolina, I'd say they're a pretty fun team to watch this season for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have any like big expectations from that game. As long as it's like the Tampa game, as long as it's not a freaking blowout, I mean, I kind of do expect us to win that game, but whenever we play Carolina, it's just weird. Like it's always one of those weird games. Kind of like how I feel like it's gonna go how the Chargers game is. It's gonna come down to who is the most disciplined, and I feel like it'll also come down to coaching as well. As long as McCarthy doesn't have any of those stupid blunders, we'll be good.
And this is where honestly, I feel like I'm the only Washington fan that did not lose their damn mind after we lost to the Bills because it's like, bro, number one, we were playing the Bills. Y'all do realize.
I mean, Josh Allen is
bro.
Yeah,
this is a Bills team that might end up in the Super Bowl, and people around here acting like we just lost to the Jets or something. Like that's number one.
I wasn't expecting to win. Yeah.
and number two, it's like you look around the NFC East, and Washington plays the easiest team this week. Like Washington has the easiest game this week. We're in Atlanta. Like we go to Atlanta. Cowboys are up against that Panthers defense that's like one of the best in the league right now. The Eagles, y'all gotta deal with Patrick Mahomes, and
they're pissed off Mahomes too. Yeah, I know.
And then the New York Football Mets gotta go to New Orleans.
Jameis Winston will go off. Haha.
Like, bro, if like Teddy Bridgewater went off on the Giants, Taylor Heineke went off on the Giants, and really. They held the Falcons to 17 points and still couldn't win. That should tell you all you need to know about the Giants. Like, if you hold the Falcons to 17 points and you still don't win that game, like, you honestly, like, you might as well just throw the season away at that point.
Yeah.
That's that's tragic. I'm like, you played a good defense, but you can't execute offensively. Okay. But
all about finishing drives for real. That's why the Chargers going to beat Dallas because, like, thing is that's why the Chargers struggle because they make so many big plays, have all this talent, but sometimes they just can't finish drives. Like it ends in 3 points or it ends in like a 3 and out. Like move the ball down the field and then just get stopped. So it's all about completing drives, man. Some points on the board. And that's what we see with like LA. Honestly, like we question them, but I think the Chargers are finally getting it together this season though with Justin Herbert because he's been falling out. So I give him his credit.
Man,
that coach, Justin Herbert.
That coach Brandon Staley might that could listen. Remember that name, Brandon Staley. He might win Coach of the Year. Remember that name. That guy is.
He probably will, especially if the Chargers end up being the playoff team that we all think they'll be.
With all that talent, yeah, with Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, shoot. Now we have Justin Herbert falling out. I hope so. They'll make the postseason.
Oh,
at least a wild card.
So the next topic, D, What is your biggest what if? Is your biggest what if in sports, Darien?
Yeah, sports.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. What is your biggest what if scenario situation? So it's like that's one situation. Like if it went one other way, everything would be different.
My biggest what if, honestly, just off the top of my head, what if RG3 never got hurt?
I
I
think
want to
about that a
see.
lot.
Cause it's like,
Yeah,
bro, like that that would change a whole bunch of stuff, like more than you probably think. Because if RG3 never got hurt, he actually might have lived up to the potential and the expectations that Washington fans and that we had for him. Because you see how that man was balling before the injury. That like it was good enough to win Rookie of the Year. So there's nothing saying he couldn't have built on that if it wasn't for the injury, which slowly took away his mobility and that's what the injury did RG3. Like it took away his mobility and it basically turned him into kind of a pocket passer, which he couldn't be. He's not a pocket passer.
Yeah, he always kind of was.
But then if RG3 never gets hurt and if he pans out, then that means guess what? Now Kirk Cousins never gets his opportunity to start, and now Washington lets him go after the 2015 season, no issue, and he doesn't get his bag with the Vikings. He doesn't get his bag with the Vikings because now he never had a chance to prove himself in Washington. So now instead of the Vikings franchise quarterback, we might be looking at journeyman Kirk Cousins. And also, if RG3 panned out, that means Washington never drafts Dwayne Haskins. Lord knows where he would have gone in this instance. This means Washington never trades for Alex Smith, which, oh, by the way, means the Alex Smith injury never happens.
And if I want to look at it from a Cowboys standpoint, that means y'all will probably win a division a lot of the times that y'all didn't, which also means Jason Garrett probably would have been fired earlier.
Earlier,
add Chip Kelly on that. Add Chip Kelly onto that too, because
we don't mention that name.
He got fired early.
He said we don't mention that name. That man is barred.
That man might have, if RG3 never got hurt, that man might have only lasted 1 year in Philly.
Yeah, for real. See, my biggest what if, it says, no, that's a good one, actually. My biggest what if, what if Andrew Luck, never retired? What if Andrew Luck turned out to be the Colts, franchise, quarterback? Because if you look at the Colts right now, they're literally, a one good quarterback, one actual just consistent quarterback away from being a playoff team, from actually being, a really good playoff team. Because they were supposed to have, Andrew Luck, was supposed to be the franchise QB. You have all these good offensive talents around your offense now. You have Naeem Hines, Jonathan Taylor, Micah Pittman. You still got Zach Pascal. Literally, but Carson Wentz made of glass, and now you just don't have your quarterback is in question. And Andrew Luck was just supposed to be that piece for Indianapolis, and ever since then, he just randomly decided to retire in the middle of a preseason game. It's just been a scramble for a quarterback. Since it's been a struggle. So that's my biggest what if with Andrew Luck, because that retirement was just so random that we never got to see Andrew Luck at full form. And in Indianapolis, he was supposed to be he was supposed to be that next franchise QB for Indianapolis after Peyton Manning left. So it's just unfortunate with the whole Andrew Luck situation, because Indianapolis actually has some talent on that squad right now. They just literally don't have a quarterback. I mean, they had Phillip Rivers, who was way past his prime, did what he did last year. He actually didn't really do too bad, really, but he was out of his prime, and that wasn't promised. It was just that was a retirement year for him. So yeah, that's my biggest what if. What if Andrew Luck never retire, would never retire, actually got got his chance, man. Yeah.
Well, with that, I would say more so, what if he didn't get hurt? Because
and that was part of it too.
Because Andrew Luck just had a lot of injuries, and then he some with his kidney, and I think he had a punctured lung at the same time, and I think he was just you know what, for my health, I'm just not for my health and the way that he plays football. Carson Wentz and Andrew Luck play football the exact same way. in which they play quarterback like a linebacker, meaning instead of sliding and bracing for hits, they're going to take it and they're going to take those hits and try and like power through everything.
That was RG3's issue.
When they just can't do that. But I would say my biggest what if, I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna go away from well, actually no, I have two. One is football, one is basketball. I always think about what if Malcolm Butler did not pick off Russell Wilson?
Ooh, if they just ran the ball, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. If Seattle just ran the ball, I mean, that's like still like really that definitely would have would have changed a lot.
Yeah, what if Malcolm Butler like I feel like Seattle would have won that Super Bowl. Russell Wilson would have more respect on his name because now he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, 2 rings.
And this time he had more, he had more to do with that Super Bowl win. I feel like Brady probably would still leave New England, but he probably would have left that year or maybe like a couple years after. I also don't think like the rift between Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, even though it was a small one, or it was allegedly small, but I don't think it would be as bad as what it seemed like. I feel like Russ would probably get to have more say in what Seattle does, and it wouldn't be so teeter-totter. And then my second one, and Sanfa, you're about to get upset. Evan, you are too. What if, and I forget who didn't get that rebound. I want to say it was Gortat. What if Gortat had got that damn rebound?
Against Atlanta?
Yes.
That nigga was pushed.
You just had to bring that up for Wizards fans.
You know what's so funny? Hold on. Evan, before you go. The funny thing is my what if was a Wizards one, but it wasn't even that one. It had nothing to do with that even entire series. But go ahead, Evan.
Seriously. That nigga was pushed. That's all I have to say.
I'm still pissed off of y'all for that series, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Man. Let me just get my what if out the way because this guy to the left of me is funny as hell. But my what if when it comes to the NBA, what if John Wall never got hurt?
Never got hurt, yeah.
That's a good one.
No. I'm gonna do you one better. What if Gilbert Arenas never got hurt?
See,
what if that gut situation?
No, hold on. The thing why I didn't bring up the Gilbert Arenas,
I don't think it was the injury.
Hold on. The reason why I never brought the Gilbert Arenas, those teams were never that good. Like we were good to make the playoffs, but we were a first round exit every time because we kept running into LeBron, we kept running into the Cavs every year.
Yeah, Gilbert, he was leaving Washington anyway.
It was and it's like when it comes to the whole Gilbert thing, it's like if he never got injured, they would have still been a competitive team. But number one, Gilbert stays healthy. They don't get John Wall. They're never that bad where they get the number 1 overall pick. They probably don't get Bill either.
He would never came to DC.
They probably don't get Bill either. Like they're probably still.
He would have been asked for too much money.
They would have probably got a lotto pick, but they would have been at the top of the draft. So that's something why I don't really think about it because honestly, we'd be worse off for now. I mean, we probably would eventually fail enough to where we would have got a top pick, but it's like that's when it comes too unpredictable. I don't want to.
Yeah, because like the bottom would have fell out eventually.
Yeah, for sure. Like we probably would have ended up falling out like within the past few years, but just like that's too unpredictable. That's so far back. Like that's 2000s. Like you can't predict what happens over the next 10 years. That's why I didn't think about that one. But the John one is immediate because we know for sure if John Wall stayed healthy, the Wizards would have stayed a competitive playoff team because Bradley Beal was a rising regardless. Because in 2017, they both averaged 23 points. They both literally averaged the same amount of points. Like Bradley Beal was gonna come out. It's just the difference was John Wall being around. Bradley Beal doesn't have to go, drop 40, 50 points a game for them to lose and then they lose. No, he would have had somebody beside him. And John Wall is always the 20th, 10th threat. He's always a threat to drop 20 points, 10 assists. So John Wall stays healthy. We continue being the playoff team and we probably continue to build on that because you're like, okay, we have these two stars. Let's continue to make moves. The front office will be like, hey, we gotta make moves to keep making players be around these two. So the Wizards could possibly be in a Atlanta Hawks situation right now, where they basically have their core and then they have a well-built team around that core. Because that's what the Hawks is. They have Trae Young. They built the team so well around him. They drafted well, make the right trade, make the right free agent signings. So we'd be Atlanta Hawks. We'd be basically a top 4 seed in the East by now. Because number one, John Wall stays healthy, that contract doesn't look as bad. Especially if he keeps ascending his game, he would have definitely developed a jump shot by now. Because the reason
That
I
backcourt
say
would have
that,
been dangerous to jump.
I say that example with the
Mhm.
Lonzo Ball thing. Lonzo Ball came into the league, his jump shot was crooked as hell. It was disgusting. Like he had his hand in front of his face. And it's been like 4 years now. He left LA. He's been in New Orleans, and New Orleans, the shooting coach up helping him get his shot together. Now he has a legit jump shot. Now Lonzo Ball is legit 3-and-D point guard. So you give John Wall that time to be healthy. He keeps working on the jumper. By now, I'm not asking John Wall to shoot 40% from three. Hell no. But if he's shooting 34, 35, 36, that's incredible because then we have basically our backcourt is a threat to score from beyond the distance at any point. One of them is always going to be open. So I feel like if John Wall never got injured, he's still being DC. We would definitely be a better team overall because even though we want to have God and maybe, Rui or Denny or even Troy Brown Jr., we would have been drafting smarter. Could be drafted, okay, let's get more mature players that can fit with John Wall and Bradley Beal. Let's get some defensive wings. Let's get some good bigs. Like the team would have rounded out very well around those two as they both continue to ascend because I'm going to forever say it. In 2017, John Wall was the best point guard in the East. I don't care what no one says. He was the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. He was better than Kyrie. And I know that's a hot take. I know that's a very, very hot take, especially at that time. Everybody was loving Kyrie at that point, but he was better than Kyrie. So, and Bradley Beal was ascending on the shooting guard list anyway. So, Philip Beal, he would have held Bradley Beal back. No, they would have been ascending together, if anything. And Jawa even said it himself that it doesn't matter who's number one. They both play off each other so well. It's whoever's open and whoever has the best shot available. So I feel like I said, we'd be a solid playoff team. We'd be in the top echelon of the conference. And we might actually have maybe made the Eastern Conference Finals, but you never know. We never predicted Miami making it all the way to the finals. We never predicted
Yeah,
that.
Ball was different. Yeah.
And in 2018, LeBron literally muscle bound carried the Cavs to the finals. Like, and then 2019, East was open. It was anybody's game in the East. The East was literally open. You tell me we can't make at least to the Eastern Conference Finals when we were already ascending 2 years before that? Come on now. So I definitely think that if John Wall stayed healthy, the Wizards would have been a contender. They would have stayed ascending. They probably maybe would have plateaued at like, okay, Eastern Conference Finals team. But I'd say Eastern Conference Finals over not making the playoffs or fighting to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, that backcourt would have been nasty, honestly.
Yeah, the backcourt would have been nasty. But Darien, I got one more what if, and it's a baseball one. What if the Padres never traded away Trey Turner? Because you got to realize, if the Padres never trade away Trey Turner, that means they never trade for for Fernando Tatis, which means now he stays with the White Sox, and now the White Sox don't draft Tim Anderson.
That would have been, and shoot, you would have seen Tatis, in Chicago going off, and Tim Anderson, Lord knows where Tim Anderson would have been if like that trade didn't go down.
The thing is, Tim Anderson might have been a Dodger.
Come to think of it,
Tim Anderson might have been a Dodger because LA was the next team
That
to
would
pick after
be
the White
pain,
Sox.
man. That would actually the Dodgers, bro. You want to talk about an OP team? Yeah, unstoppable team. They had Tim Anderson right now. Yeah, people would hate the Dodgers even more probably. That would be fun to see though, but that would be a good one. Damn, I don't know where Darien went though. Yeah, that was a good segment though.
He did kind of step up, but yeah, we're just gonna hop back into the football thing. 1 second. So NFL Week 2 takeaways, brothers. What are your takeaways? From
week 3 takeaways.
Week 3, yeah.
Bro. First of all, I tried to tell y'all about the Panthers that Carolina was gonna be good. This past year.
You brought it up,
and also try to tell people not to get too hype about the Eagles or the Steelers, and they both proved me right this week.
See, I didn't get too hype about that. I was one of the Eagles fans that I literally was even saying myself that I don't expect too much. That's why, because the Eagles fan, granted, yeah, I was participating in the trash talk. That's an all fun and everything. Yeah, we're going to talk shit, but when it came to game day, I'm just like, bro, there's no point in me getting extra hype for the game. I was literally chilling the whole time. I had work or whatever. I was like, bro, I wasn't even focused. I just saw that last half of the game, and the game was basically like, well, it wasn't really determined by halftime because we're only down by, I believe, 2 scores. But other than that, they scored again. I was like, I told, Eagles fans that day, you can participate in all the trash talk, but coming to game day, don't go off don't go off like a dickhead, expecting us that, we're going to actually beat them because we weren't expecting a win on paper. That's why I've just been chilling. I was like, you know what, kind of deserve this loss because the fans have been, need to be humbled or whatever and come back to realization. Most of the fan base, there's only a few it's actually a good amount of Eagles fans I see that actually make logical sense though. But I think the fan base as a whole just need to be humbled. And Jalen Hurts, he wasn't even he's very mature as a player. I like Jalen Hurts' future in Philly. Granted, he had one mid-game and the whole world goes off. I knew it was going to happen. Of course, he's in Philly. One mid-game. And honestly, he still, exactly. He still threw 2 touchdown passes. Granted, those 2 interceptions, those 2 sacks. Yeah, that was a bad look. But other than that, Jalen Hurts, he said himself in the press conference, the loss, most of it was on him. He took account to him taking accountability and not pointing fingers, to other players and making excuses. That's what I like to see because Hurts knows we have potential there. And honestly, our young core is not looking too bad. Honestly, Devontae Smith is out there looking like he wants it. Jalen Reagor is out there like he wants it. Quez Watkins, underrated speed. He can go up and make plays. So yeah, we still put up 21 against a team that was way better than us. And I told Eagles fans, I don't know why y'all expect too much in this game, a Dallas team that's already pretty much set for a front one paper for the playoffs, and we're still very young, honestly. So that's why I haven't really been talking. It's we lost. Brandon, I was pissed off. It's Dallas. It's the Cowboys. Yeah, that always stings. We lost against the fucking Cowboys. We all know I hate the Cowboys, but it's just look, man, it's a humbling experience. The Cowboys fans deserve to get their shit off. They've been getting, bashed this whole time by the media and everything. So, hey, let them have their fun. And, the season goes on and, hey, we have to see what goes on from here. I can't wait to see just us moving forward from week 3, honestly. Though, and then that's my takeaway from week 3.
And my other takeaways from week 3. My other takeaways from week 3. Honestly, I feel like people are putting a little bit too much stock in the Cowboys win and Washington's loss because it's bro, let's face it. I'm not saying the Cowboys are not a good team. I'm saying the Eagles
can still win. Yeah,
the Eagles are not a good team. This defense, the Eagles defense is not a good defense. So, so 41 points really ain't that impressive. And as for Washington, bro, they lost to the Bills. So the loss does not mean that Washington is not a playoff team. It doesn't.
Yeah, they put up 41 too.
it doesn't mean Washington is not a playoff team. It doesn't mean that they're not going to win the NFC East. It means they're not. The loss literally just means they're not a Super Bowl team.
Pretty much.
And then my last takeaway from week 3, 2 of them. One, Matt Nagy needs to go now out of Chicago.
The play, we talk about Justin Fields, but
let me tell y'all something. Because
I'm gonna get into that. I can get into that.
The Chicago Bears, as a professional football team, had 47 yards of total offense last week. 47. 47. And then
You have to take some of those
Like-
from
like-
Justin Fields turn like the sacks and stuff. That's why.
Justin Fields. I mean, some of that is on
Nine
Justin.
times.
Justin Fields is. I mean, some of that is on Justin Fields. Yeah, because he didn't have a good game. But dog, 47 yards of total offense. You can't tell me none of that is on the coach. That's number one.
And you got David Montgomery. You got Allen Robinson. Like, what is going on, bro? Like, you really have to question some of the play call because they got players like actual offensive talent. The Bears already have developed talent. It's not like they're a young team. Like, yeah, I don't know. Chicago, they really do got to question Matt Nagy at this point and some of that play calling.
And then my last takeaway, and Sanfa, you really gonna like this one? Justin Tucker has the legs of Hercules.
I mean, statistically, he is like
was
the
OC,
best.
bro.
He is like the best field goal kicker of all time statistically. Like if you look at the stats, he is like that's not
Most
an
points in your
undeniable
franchise history.
fact. Like, come on now. Like I'm not even like I hate when people. Oh, you're sucking his, bruh. If you've watched Justin Tucker as long as I have all merit to say that he is the best field goal kicker we've ever seen because he's accurate. He hits bombs. Like this man's not casually doing 30, 40-yard kicks. Like not many people can do that. He even hit a 51 before twice. So I'm just like, when people, oh, you're, but I don't even listen. I'm like, bro, y'all not look at the stats, bro.
The fact that he, a 70-yard field goal was still able to hit the goalpost is like impressive. Like almost a 70-yarder. Like almost 70-yard. Yeah.
One more thing. Let me sweeten it. This week the Ravens play in Denver, and what is Denver known for? That thin air.
That thin air. That altitude.
That thin air,
man.
which means the ball carries more on his field goal.
The ball carry more weight, yeah. Because it's higher up in the air, so basically when the ball is trying to come, gravity is going to come down harder. So
then the show, the home run,
no. Gravity's gonna come. Gravity's gonna be lighter. That ball is going to be lighter.
I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. You're right.
The home run derby showed that.
As in, Justin Tucker could probably hit a 70-yarder in Denver.
Yeah, you're right. And that's not even cap.
So I missed most of the first part of the takeaway. So let me get my stuff off real quick because I've been waiting for this.
Get off your chest.
I've been waiting for it.
Get off your chest.
You want to know why I've been waiting for it? It's not just that you had. I understand you hadn't really been talking shit this whole week. It has been since last year. The digs that you have put on the Cowboys, hyping up your Eagles, although y'all know better, but at the same time, I'm not mad at you for hyping up your Eagles. All right. But every time he has a little chance to throw shade towards the Cowboys, he does it. I'm not going, I still remember them times where we was talking in the group chat and you brought up the Tony Romo ribs, knowing damn well that hits too damn close to the heart. Okay,
that was a straight shot.
That was funny as shit when I heard those.
But talking about some damn Tony Romo ribs. Every chance he got to say something about the Cowboys, he did it. He did it, and then
the season was coming up,
and then even last season he was talking. He was talking trash before the first game. And before the second game. Now, when we lost the first game, he was going off. Then the second game came, he was talking shit before the second game. But then we beat him, and he's doing exactly what he's doing now. However, what I'll give him is he did. We both kind of was just not saying anything about the game this whole week. I was like, I'm not gonna say anything until the game is going on and until the game is over. And I've held it in. And I know y'all saw me going off on social media after the game was over because Eagles fans deserved it. And Mark, I'm not going to let you get away with this because this is the same dude who pulled up into this very podcast, this time last week with Jalen Hurts running over some Cowboys player. Now,
that was impressive run.
I don't want to hear you saying a word. If it ain't nice, don't say it. From now until week 17, when we play y'all again, you talk to us nice. Because ever since the end of the last season, you have been killing us. And then week 3, the first division game of the season, and y'all get mauled the way that y'all did. Now, I did kind of get nervous at the beginning of the game where y'all got that sack fumble that just ended up in the end zone. Because for real, if it wasn't a touchdown, it was going to be a safety. And even when that happened, I was like, okay, we still got the rest of the game. I think, and this is what I was scared of for Philly. You had Nick Sirianni preaching the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry, wearing the Beat Dallas hoodie and the Beat Dallas shirt with the Beat Dallas hat, just honing in on the rivalry, which I love, by the way. And I think I tweeted this. I said, I hope that he doesn't focus too much on the rivalry in itself and he forgets the game plan. And I really think he kind of was like 75% rivalry, 25% game plan, because they really had nothing. That 21 points, and even some of those passing yards that Jalen Hurts had are really garbage stats. They're really garbage stats. Like you, Evan, like you just said, I am not gonna sit here and act like we're gonna win the Super Bowl after beating the stinking Eagles 41-21. I'm not gonna do that because number one, they're the stinking Eagles, and number two, it's week 3. We're only in week 3. I'm not gonna sit here and act like we are the greatest thing since sliced bread because we got a buzzsaw. But really, we should be the buzzsaw, or however you want to say it. Either way, it's a heavyweight clash coming up on Sunday against the Carolina Panthers, and we need to get focused on that short week. And we played an early game too, so we got to get focused on that. But going away from the Monday night game, one takeaway is through 3 weeks, the Rams are the best team in the NFC. And I know we're getting to that later. The Rams are looking like the best team in the NFC, that they will be sitting there at home in their own stadium for the second year in a row. There will be somebody playing in their own stadium. And it looks like the Rams, it's only week 3. There's 17 games. Anything can happen. So the Rams are looking great. Big Ben Roethlisberger just needs to retire. I understand. Like he didn't want to go outside. I didn't want Ben Roethlisberger to go outside, but the offensive line sucks. Ben cannot run. The defense is decimated by injury, and the receiving core is maybe bottom side of top 10, middle of the pack at best. And you can't run the ball if your offensive line is Swiss cheese. If you have Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles playing in your offensive line, it's not going to work. And so I think Pittsburgh just needs to revamp that offensive line, and this year just draft a quarterback. Also give Cam Newton a call. I'm pretty sure he will answer.
Ben Roethlisberger should have retired like 2 years ago.
Right. And then
like the man. I'm sorry, Darren, because I was just gonna say the man's never been a mobile quarterback. He's always been kind of, his size was his plus, and now he's older to the point he can barely move, barely has any agility left, and it's just the fact that, like you just said, the O line is horrible. So it's just like they need to sharpen up that quarterback, right? And that's coming from a Ravens fan. I don't even like the Steelers, but just watching how Ben literally is at the point now he can barely even move. It's time to hang the boots up, big guy. You a Hall of Famer, man. Like, there's no need to keep playing. You don't need to prove nothing. But go ahead.
And then I would like to also come on here and admit, because I'm pretty sure that for the last like 2-3 weeks, I've come off as a Lamar Jackson hater. And that's not the case. But
Shout out
however,
to
like
Bio.
my biggest thing about Lamar is that he couldn't throw the ball downfield. And I just want to say I was wrong. Because he was dropping dimes on Sunday. The thing about it is that Lions game should not have gone to a last-second field goal because the Ravens should have been blowing them out because Marquise Brown dropped two touchdowns.
Sucked for me in fantasy, but luckily he was on my bench. Oh man,
I love how you just threw that in there. But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, Marquise Brown dropped 2 tutties. So it should have been Ravens by a long shot. However, I don't know what black cat is running through Ford Field in Detroit. Detroit could easily be 2-1 right now. Because granted, they were getting their asses whooped by San Fran in game 1. San Fran let them come back, and they were this close to getting a touchdown in a 2-point conversion and sending that game into overtime. When it goes into overtime, you don't know what can happen. Dan Campbell has those boys playing hard. They should have won on Sunday because the Ravens were really acting like they didn't want to win. They actually better thank their lucky stars that they even got a 66-yard field goal because, damn it, the play before that should have been a delay of game. There should have been a delay of game. And I understand that usually when the clock hits 0, they give you like an extra second. Lamar was standing there like this for about 5 seconds, and there was no flag. So there's that. And another one is there are 2 teams I think people just need to chill out on. And people need to chill out on Washington because, as Evan said, they gave up 41 points and got blown out by the Bills, and they hung with them for a half. So give them credit for that. So they got blown out by the Bills, who really, we've been talking about our Super Bowl contenders. They went to the AFC Championship game, could have won that game. And people need to chill out on the Chiefs. Just
thank you.
Relax.
Yeah, because Pat Mahomes is pissed off now, and they play us. Just great.
Yeah.
What a setup.
I was gonna say, before Evan said that y'all play the Chiefs, I was gonna come in here and be like, luckily for the Eagles, they play a last place team. Only thing about that last place team is the Kansas City Chiefs. But I just think, again, it's week 3. Let's not completely overreact. That defense does not look good. And I do want to say that last year in the Super Bowl, the Bucs made the blueprint on how to beat Patrick Mahomes. All they do is they just drop 2 deep safeties. They're playing. All you gotta do is just play a cover 2. And if you watch the Manning cast, I want to say it was this past week, but the week before when they were doing Green Bay and Detroit, all you heard Peyton say is, "You see those 2 deep safeties? They're daring Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball, knowing that that's what they want. But they want Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball. Is he going to take the bait?" Aaron Rodgers said, "No, I'm just run the ball, run it until I see single high man coverage." and y'all come a little and you know y'all drop down a bit, now I'm going to throw it over. Now I'm going to throw it over top of your heads. So for right now, all you're going to get is little runs, screens, and little dink and duck passes. That's what Aaron Rodgers did when he got that look from Detroit. What Patrick Mahomes is doing is thinking, oh, well, I got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Miko Hardman. I just throw it. I throw it up anyway. It's not like y'all can catch him. No. Because you literally just have them just sitting deep. You can't go deep. Pat Mahomes can't be sitting here throwing bullshit around like he's playing Madden on rookie mode and think he can get away with it now. He can't. So now he has to adjust, which I think he will. But with all that being said, we need to chill out on the Kansas City Chiefs. We do. I will understand if this was like week 8 or week 9 and the Chiefs defense is still giving up 30, 35 points a game. But let them work out the kinks. Let them make some adjustments. And let's see how they go moving forward. Now, granted, this is not your grandfather's AFC West because the Broncos are 3-0. The Raiders are 2-1. No, the Raiders are still undefeated. The Raiders
are undefeated.
The Raiders are 3-0. And the Chiefs just lost to the Chargers, where this is growth for the Chargers. Because remember last week I said that the Cowboys beating the Chargers was something, because this is usually a game that Dallas would find a way to lose. Last week was a game where typically the Chargers would find a way to lose. And some way, somehow, they won that game. So this is not your grandfather's AFC West. The AFC West, well, not your grandfather's AFC West. This is not your brother's AFC West. You know, these teams are pretty good. I mean, there's an asterisk next to Denver because they beat who they beat up on? The Giants, the Jets, and like the Falcons or something like that. They beat up on us. They beat up on a bunch of bad teams.
Yeah, and they're facing us this Sunday, so they're definitely gonna probably take another.
Yes, so that's so that'll be a test for them to see what they're really made of, and they're playing against the Ravens. So we'll see about that. Kyler Murray's still illegal. And we kind of need to chill out on Trevor Lawrence as well, because Peyton Manning stunk his first year, and Peyton's been preaching that. You know, even Alex Smith went on TV and said he sucked his rookie year. It's not like the NBA where you can just put these young players in and they'll make an impact. And they'll automatically make a difference. Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing with Justin Fields. I was one of the ones that didn't think that Justin Fields even needed to be starting. I thought that from the get-go. I didn't think that he needed to be starting. Sit back, watch Andy Dalton. You have two good veterans that you can learn from in Andy Dalton, who has won in the NFL before. Granted, he doesn't have a championship, but he knows what it takes to win a division, get to the playoffs, and win a playoff game. Although I don't think he's won a playoff game, but he doesn't play defense, so you can't really fault him for that completely. And then you have Nick Foles, who's won a Super Bowl. So let him sit back and learn, at least learn from Andy Dalton. And then, let him hold the clipboard and then build your team around him. The thing is, as you said, Mark, they have weapons, which they do. They have tremendous weapons, on offense. The problem is their offensive line is shit. And then on top of their offensive line being shit, Matt Nagy basically was like, how you gonna go on Ask Madden and you're choosing all the wrong plays? How are you gonna do that? That's basically what Matt Nagy was doing. At least Nick Sirianni was doing that against the Cowboys, but he was getting some success from it. Justin Tucker kicked a 66-yard field goal. That's more yards through a field goal than the whole Bears offense had that game against the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good for me because I started the Browns defense on fantasy. So big ups to the Bears.
He had take that W.
Also, shout out to Joe Burrow. Shout out to Joe
man.
Burrow in Cincinnati, because Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that's looking like a fun connection right there.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, man, balling out right now through 3 weeks.
And people had
that's
so
all I gotta
much to say about Jamar Chase before the season even started. Season ain't even start.
Yep.
And they were talking all this wild shit about him.
Exactly. And you're seeing Joe Burrow in his bag now. Hey, I'm excited for Joe Burrow, though, because finally seeing him playing pretty good. That goes to show Pittsburgh, honestly. And with the week 3 takeaways, the AFC North is actually looking like competitive. Like the teams, the Steelers usually dominate the AFC North, but oh man, Steelers will probably be the bottom of the barrel. They don't get it together because the Browns are an actual playoff team now. We have the Bengals, who are like actually looks like they have a more like set, actually have a quarterback that's healthy. Big Ben, he's not healthy, so he can't really run the offense. And we have Lamar Jackson of Baltimore. So Pittsburgh, y'all got to get it together before they can seriously be dead last in this division. Which I wouldn't be surprised if they won't, if they do finish last in the not last, but probably third place in the AFC North, like just ahead of the Cincinnati, because Pittsburgh, yeah, man, Big Ben, I wouldn't be surprised if he retires like mid-season at this point, like at some point, because his body, he has to think about his future, his livelihood after this, because it's looking bad.
It doesn't get easier for Pittsburgh. Granted, they're getting some guys on defense back, but the thing is, they got that, as Stephen A calls him, that bad man Aaron Rodgers coming in the Heinz Field.
Woo.
And
Aaron Rodgers got sick of all the media hype. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he's like playing with a chip on his shoulder this year. Pittsburgh fans. I mean, I honestly don't feel sorry for the Steelers, because honestly, Steelers fans are annoying. So it's like, y'all kind of had this comment. You guys hype, always been on this pedestal in your division. So, just sit back and relax and rebuild a mode. You about to see how it really is. Got to face reality, Steelers fans. I think Steelers fans really aren't facing reality right now with Big Ben. They're just hoping he can just play forever, but he's not Brady. I'm sorry.
I've seen a couple where they are, but like I understand like how like you have a guy for so long, like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's on the Patriots for 20 years. You think he's never going to leave. And then he leaves. And then you see a guy like Big Ben. And yeah, you don't want him to go. However, I think a lot of Pittsburgh fans are like, get Ben the fuck out of here. Because he's a shell of himself. He's old and frail. Poor guy.
Yeah, it's up to him at this point. At this point, he's just playing like out of the heart instead of like just out of the heart at this point. Man. Like he's done his like his name itself like holds weight in Pittsburgh. Like he's done so much for that franchise. So yeah, he's not really going out sad to me. He just has to think about his livelihood. To see him like God forbid, to see him like a catastrophic injury happen to him and that ends his career, that would be going out sad. So I just want to see him like hang it up before like it does get to that point. Honestly, this is football, man. So that's my biggest week 3 takeaway. Like the AFC North, man. AFC North is definitely changing up. Uprising,
And just like I said earlier, I'm just like, Ben would be a Hall of Famer. Like, it's undisputed. Like, let's just look at it. He's literally been the franchise man for the Steelers for a long time. And just like Darien said, you say for somewhere so long enough, you don't think they're ever gonna leave. But off of the few Pittsburgh Steelers fans I know and what I see on Twitter, They're ready for him to go, man. Like it's time, man. Body not holding up yet. You don't want to ruin your health. You got to think about post career, man. You don't want to be one of these players that they end their career and they can't do anything. And I just want to end it on that point because this one was kind of going on for a long time. It was a good conversation, but kind of going on for a long time. So we kind of got to cut off a few, but that's perfectly fine. It is what it is. So let's talk about coaches that are on the hot seat. Who do y'all think it could be possibly fired
Matt Nagy.
or replaced?
Matt Nagy.
Well, honestly, out of all the coaches, he's kind of like the main because there's a lot of new head coaches in NFL. He's like the main coach that's really looking like in a hot water right now. It's Matt Nagy because that play not only it's a lot of takeaways you can take away from that Bears game on Sunday, but yeah, that play caller was looking suspect, and he has had a lot of like suspect play calling as well. I don't think Matt Nagy he'll be better off as as like maybe an offensive coordinator, like or somewhere, not as actual head coach. Like head coaching to me, I don't think it's that good for like it's really for Matt Nagy.
And honestly, with Nagy and maybe Mike Zimmer, like I don't really think anybody else is on the hot seat right now. And I throw out Mike Zimmer only because the Vikings are 1-2, like 1-2, and honestly, really should be really not that far from 0-3.
Yeah, the Vikings they have way too much talent. For all these years, they have way too much talent just to like not even do anything in the playoffs, even make the playoffs. So Mike Zimmer, he has to be in question too. Yeah,
here's my thing with the Vikings. Like I was talking to someone about this on Twitter about a week or so ago. They are the most frustrating team in the NFL because they have the defense, they have receivers, they have the running back, their O-line is not that bad, coach is not that bad, the quarterback's not bad. What else could you possibly want? Like, this is a good team. And Evan said that they could easily be 0-3. They could easily be 3-0. Easily. A lot of those games that they played could have gone the other way. Especially that game against especially those games against Cincy and those two losses against Cincy.
Yeah, Cincy went by field goal. Mm-hmm.
They really are a missed field goal away from being a game over 500 and 2-1. So I wouldn't say Mike Zimmer. I mean, if they don't make the playoffs this year, I would assume that he's going to go. I would assume so.
And something hasn't changed at this point, yeah, because it's been too many years now.
And I would think that who is it? Maybe someone like what's his name? I just had his name on the tip of my tongue, and I just lost it. I would say like Joe Judge, possibly. Joe Judge. That's all I can think of right now. Unless Miami says they're going to try and get rid of Brian Flores, but I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's been too early for Brian Flores. Yeah, he still has time to get it together. I'm trying to see Tua get healthy as well with his Braves. That's unfortunate with him. So yeah, I can't really see too many other coaches on the hot seat right now besides Matt Nagy. Honestly.
I'm really trying to think. Yeah, like I mean, again, of course, Matt Nagy. I think Matt Nagy has been trolling the media ever since they drafted Justin Fields.
It's like, yeah, he's definitely saying, yeah, as long as Andy Dalton is healthy, he's going to be that guy. And now people are pissed off at him for saying that, but it's kind of after that week 3, yeah, it's making sense now. Yeah, Andy Dalton needs to be the starting QB. Justin Fields has a long way to go. And honestly, he just got his welcome to the NFL, really, in week 3. So, but still, man, like someone has to change Chicago because you have the quarterbacks now. You do have I mean, Andy Dalton, he's a better quarterback, to me, the Mitch Trubisky, like, of course, he can lead the move the change better. So now there's really no excuse. And for like weapons around him as well. So yeah, the Bears, they don't get it together by like week 8, the halfway midpoint of the season, and they say they're probably only like a 3-win, 2-win team by week 8. Matt Nagy, shoot, he's definitely going after this season for sure. Big changes are coming in Chicago. Got the quarterback. Like after we see this with franchises, you have the big you drop the big QB, the next franchise QB. So therefore, some front office changes may have to go, with like coaching changes have to go. So, wouldn't be surprised if he's out, because Chicago fans and just in general, they are just impatient. Yeah. Ooh. Oh.
This is getting
edited. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what happened.
I guess Sanfa stepped away.
And I don't know where Evan went. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm about to pull it up very quick. Fine. I just had it. Here it is. All right. So we just talked about the coaches on the hot seat. Oh yeah. So how your Phillies doing?
Phillies. Actually, we're playing right now, actually. Let me look at the score, because I was actually looking at the Yankees and the Blue Jays. I'm actually happy the Blue Jays are winning.
Yeah, me
too. Because it's the Yankees. The Phillies, though, they just kind of sort of been disappointing me, because literally with this close, we're 2.5 games back. Got shut out. At this point, the Braves, they got it. I'm not expecting nothing, and we're losing right now. So, hate to say it. Braves, congrats. Give it to the Braves. I wish everyone was here for this, but yeah, they so far they've been playing they've been playing good all year, and to see them still do good, I gotta give them credit what's due. To see them still do good with this with Ronald Acuna going down, and they're still like on like this hot streak. The Braves, it's only right they won it at this point. The Phillies, we're not playing like we wanted. We had a good run in over the past, in August, running that hot streak though, but a little too late, and they did get this close, and it was exciting to see it get this close in the NL East. But it's looking like the Braves have it down packed now, because we will basically have to win out. The Phillies basically literally went out to even get that win that division.
Y'all can't get the wild card, because it's basically LA. It's gonna be LA and St. Louis in the wild. Well, whoever comes in second in the NL West, and the Cardinals, they're gonna be in the wild card game. This AL wild card race is really shaving years off of my life, bro. It really is.
It's so close. It's crazy. And like the Red Sox, hey, y'all been unpredictable. I'm not gonna lie.
We just we went on. We wore those yellow City Connect jerseys.
I fuck with those though too. Mm-hmm.
We just scored again, but we wore those yellow City Connect jerseys, and then just ran off 7 straight wins, and then we go up against the Yankees and get swept, and then we lay an egg against Baltimore. Wow, the Yankees win, and now out the smooth cut, here comes the Mariners.
Sneaky.
The Mariners won, so it's almost like, oh, okay, all right. We've kind of just been, what is it? We've been slow walking like all second half, and it's kind of sad, and it also pisses me off because it was one of those things where like I was talking so much shit about the Yankees, so much Yankees trash talk, and now we are what the Yankees were in the first half of the season, just a little bit better, but we are what the Yankees were. But I am hopeful because I mean, granted, we have the Orioles. We have 2 more against the Orioles. Well, 1 more against the Orioles after tonight, and then we have Washington. So if we can win tonight and win tomorrow, and if we can win 2 of 3 against Washington, we're good.
And that's where I'm gonna stop you because the Washington Nationals, we have one mission for the rest of the season: to make it so either we get the ass of baseball in the playoffs or the Seattle Mariners in the playoffs. And damn it, that's what we gonna do. For Vladdy, we are the team of the people.
So here's they're gonna win that MVP though, win the AL between like I say Otani and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Because honestly, with the Blue Jays like in the playoffs, Vladdy, hey, I mean he came up this month and like and was actually like leading the Blue Jays on like a run, a postseason run. I say he deserves an MVP, the AL MVP. I wouldn't be mad if he got it over Shohei Otani, even though Shohei Otani he's just been amazing though, individual. Man, it sucks how we have to, how individual, like performances and team performances, kind of have to get separated in his own category. But yeah, I say Vladdy deserves that AL MVP.
I was talking to Smiles, and Smiles said if the Blue Jays and the Phillies make the playoffs, Bryce Harper and Vladdy, well, most certainly Bryce Harper will win NL MVP, but Vladdy will have a better case for MVP. But I heard another take where it was like you can compare Vladdy and Shohei's numbers, and it does point towards Vladdy, but compare Vladdy's pitching numbers to Shohei Ohtani's, and then give me your answer. And I just think the fact that we haven't seen anything like Shohei, we've seen nothing like Shohei Ohtani. I believe, like I'm about 90% sure that he's going to win MVP in the event that the Blue Jays don't make the playoffs.
Right. If they don't, yeah, it's only right it goes to Shohei.
But honestly. I think it's going to be like, but with Vladdy, he's going to get the Fernando Tatis treatment, where Tatis had a monster year last year, and coming into this season, Tatis was seen as the face of baseball. Vladdy's going to get that same treatment, although Tatis is still the face of baseball. And if Bryce does not make the playoffs, Tatis is MVP. In my
it's
eyes,
only right, yeah. Honestly, yeah, because the Phillies, we don't make the playoffs.
I'm sorry, Evan. I know you would want to make I know you would want to make a stake for Juan Soto, but
Nationals is too bad.
Juan Soto and Bryce Harper basically had the same resurgence in the second half of the season. The thing is, the Nats decided that they didn't care about winning anymore, and the Phillies just went on a tear. So for me, it's Tatis, Harper, Soto, and the National League, and then in the American League, it's Ohtani and Vladdy.
Yeah, I think you just missed your good point about the NL League, but yeah, you'll hear that. But yep, that's about accurate, really. Because honestly, this has been one of the best years for MLB. Seeing the competition this close towards the end of the season, like close to October, that's what you want in baseball. The unpredictableness, man.
And Smiles was saying this too. He was saying this has been maybe at least in his lifetime, the most meaningful year for baseball, because think about it. Baseball's popularity is skyrocketing.
It really is, man. And for me, shoot, all this apparel I'm buying this year, man, I'm me getting into it. Shoot.
Baseball's popularity is skyrocketing, and you have basically Babe Ruth 4.0. Like this is Babe Ruth with the game sliders all the way up. He just happens to be from Japan. And you have these tight playoff races, these tight division races. And the thing is, there's not a clear cut. There's not a clear cut favorite to win the World Series. We can all rip and rave about the Dodgers all we want to. I mean, they built that super team, but they had a super team in 2019.
Don't see but them Giants.
And
don't see but them Giants though, San Francisco.
You got teams like and the thing is, it's the meaningful. It's like not the meaningful teams, like it's the big teams that are doing this. It's the Dodgers, it's the Giants, it's the Yankees, it's the Red Sox, like the Astros, the Cardinals. Like you have these big name clubs that are in these tight playoff races, and for baseball, if you're the commissioner, this is all you can ask for. And then at the same time, you got smaller clubs like Tampa and Milwaukee, and hell, even Seattle, that are trying to make headway and are getting into the playoffs. And then again, the teams that didn't make it, in the Cincinnati's and the Slam Diegos, and say Toronto, although I mean, of course Toronto has a chance. Like it's been a great year for baseball, and I feel like with October is right around the corner, and it's only going to get better.
Honestly, when it comes to playoff time, shoot, I'm loving it, honestly.
But one more question. Because I guess right now it's just me and you.
Mm-hmm.
So who is your sleeper team to look out for this October? There he is.
He said super team in ML. What you talking about? Wait, hold up. What sport?
The like with the playoffs coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your team to look out for?
I'm back. So we still on MLB playoffs, right?
Yeah, MLB playoffs.
So
yeah, my team to look out for.
My sleeper team is probably gonna be the Brewers, and the reason why I say the Brewers is they're the one team in the National League that like nobody's talking about.
I was going to say that
because you got the Giants, and everybody's trying to figure out A, how they took the NL West from the Dodgers, B, can they keep it up, and then you got the aforementioned Dodgers, where the common mindset about them is they're the wild card, but they're still supposed to be like the best team in the National League. Then you got the Braves team, then you got this Braves team that's in probably the closest race in the NL East, although they could close it out in the next
very
couple of days.
Close.
Yeah. Because Atlanta's that team that could beat anybody in this league with their offense, but they could just as easily lose to anybody with that pitching staff. So that's the Braves, and then you got
that's what blows me about them.
But then you got this Cardinals team that just magically forgot how to lose. So like you got all these stories, and then nobody's talking about the Brewers, because Milwaukee has probably like the only lineup in the National League who I'd say is better than Milwaukee is the Dodgers. That's the only one I'd say. And then as far as pitching staff goes, like the Brewers are probably the best pitching staff in the National League. So Milwaukee very easily could be in this World Series.
Yeah, no, it's funny you say that, Evan, because like I mentioned this like probably a couple months ago on a podcast. Like, look what the Brewers are doing. Like in July, the Brewers are just on a tear. They were like one of the best teams in baseball for like a small Milwaukee, a club team, like for like a small market team like that. They were just like under the radar, but just still going off. So, and I wouldn't say I kind of maybe was a hawker to say for me to say, they were go to the World Series, but honestly. I mean that's my sleeper team as well though. I don't think they're actually going to be in a World Series though, but how they're playing in July, I would say that would be my sleeper team as well because Milwaukee they're still on like a good tear honestly, and it's just the fact that it's a small market and it's in Milwaukee, and of course you have like the big names on like the big market teams in baseball as well, like coming up to the postseason, and it's like a very like tight race. So I guess not the media and everybody doesn't really see Milwaukee to be like that threat to really just blow out the competition. But yeah, I can't sleep on Milwaukee and what they've been doing at all. So yeah, that was I was going to say the same exact team because I mentioned how good the Brewers were under the radar like back in July when they were just like been on the tear like really all season. So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Well, y'all
But
both
I understand winning the
said
World Series though. I don't see him winning the World Series though. I still don't see that. But yeah.
y'all both said Milwaukee, which is who I was going to say, but since I don't want to say the same
Ironic.
thing, I don't want to say the same thing as the both of y'all. As much as it pains me to say, you want to know who has been sneaky good? The Astros. And no
Bro,
one has talked about them.
it's
The Astros have been sneaky good, dog.
Hates to give them credit though. It's
Yo,
like, damn, why are they so good?
I
They
can
don't
feel the
deserve this.
pain. I can feel
They
the
don't
pain in your
deserve
voice
this.
when you
Like,
said that.
because why are they so good?
Astros.
They just can't lose. Like literally all the highlights, like, bruh, the Astros are still winning.
I
It's
mean, they
like,
still have that same squad that they had from years ago. I mean, people want to talk about the cheating, but they damn sure could have won the World Series without cheating.
hey, dude,
Let's just be honest.
basically the Astros are showing like basically the Astros are like shutting up the haters now and saying, hey, look, this is what we're doing. Look, let's shut out all that talk. And really it's good for the Astros organization to throw all of that out. Because like I say it's a better look on the organization now because now they're showing how good it can be without, the cheating. And of course the MLB cracking down on all pitchers now. Astros done made a whole thing with that. Like so hate to say it, man.
they still got no, I think one of the either Verlander or Greinke got hurt and they're out for the year. It was Verlander or Greinke.
If it's
But their
Greinke,
pitching staff,
because Greinke's tough. Man.
their pitching staff is not bad. They still have Altuve. They still got
Monsters,
Alvarez, Correa. They have a couple other guys, so I can't think of their names right now. Bregman. Like they still have that core. And their manager is Dusty Baker. I'm rooting. I always root for Dusty. Ever since he came to Washington, I've always rooted for Dusty. So the Astros is a team that we have to look out for. And also, we talk about them, but we don't talk about them. The Rays.
Oh, Tampa Bay.
We don't talk about the Rays. And the Rays,
they've been winning.
Like the Rays are the Braves. Actually, no, the Rays are the American League version of the Brewers. That's literally what the Rays are. So I would say
just under the radar, small market under the radar, but still just winning, like just playing lights out.
Yeah, like they came out of nowhere and took the Red Sox AL East lead. And then Evan also mentioned the Cardinals, and he said that all they've done is win. The Cardinals have these MFs have ran off 17 straight.
That's wild though. Like
and basically took the second wild card spot from the Padres. They basically said, "Give me your ring, it's mine."
And the Padres looking dominant. It's
Give me
the
your ring.
Padres because San Diego, they were one of the big powerhouse teams up there, where like San Francisco And the Dodgers at one point now, it's like they're slipping, man. Like the Padres, they're kind of slipping a little
because all of the targets that the Padres were going after on the trade deadline ended up going to the Dodgers. They wanted Trey Turner. They wanted Max Scherzer. Then they wanted another pitcher. They didn't get any of their deadline targets. The same with the Red Sox. The Red Sox were doing the same thing. The Red Sox were looking to bolster their bullpen. We're looking for another starter, and we just got another bat. Which, I mean, I love Schwartz to death, but you don't really need him. I mean, we kind of need him now because we got people hurt and out because of COVID. You know, people have kind of come back, but like we really need pitching, and I mean, the Padres really lost their season at the trade deadline because the Dodgers went and got basically everyone that they wanted. So kind of sucks for them, but they'll be all right. More reason for San Diego to just hate the Dodgers.
Honestly, even more, yeah. And but Tatis, you know, and what he's been doing, like I give him credit. He's just had an amazing year. Like really give credit to him. Like no matter what the Padres do, you know, going here from here on out.
And it's kind of a shame because I look at the NL West, and it's like you have the Giants, the Dodgers, the Padres, like they're all kind of contenders. And then you have the Rockies who are just spoilers, and the Diamondbacks are just there.
Yeah, right.
They're just here for the vibes. They're just like, okay, we understand. We're like that. Like they're the punching bag of that division. And it's kind of like how in the AL East, how you have, you know, the Rays, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and then there's the Orioles who are just there. Everyone just fucks the Orioles.
It's like, yup, it's just poor Orioles, man. Nice ballpark, though. The ballpark is not bad, but
they have a very actually beautiful ballpark in my
the
opinion.
ballpark is not bad at all.
But it's just the team is just not good.
Like the team is shit.
The team is trash.
I mean, they could be worse. They could be the Marlins. So
another team with a beautiful ballpark, just yeah, man. But I can't say too much because the Marlins definitely did beat the Phillies a couple times.
This man Darien just went from like the dumpster can to being inside the dumpster. Like Jesus Christ. It's like golly. But I don't even know that much about baseball, but I know the Marlins are fucking garbage. Like golly.
Sweet uniforms, nice ballpark, man. That's all I gotta say. Love the jerseys, love the ballpark. Mm.
For sure, man.
It's just not that really that team right now, though. Yeah.
Alrighty. So, did y'all talk about the wild card games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
And y'all talked about
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We basically
did the whole football and baseball side, right?
MLB, yeah, we didn't. We was not bad with the MLB.
Okay, so let's just go to this NBA vaccine nonsense. You know, in fact, looking at the time, we're gonna end it with this one. They're gonna do basically the last one. We're gonna do quick lightning round. So, if everyone that hasn't been paying attention, NBA vaccine saga. So players are coming out saying, "Okay, yeah, I took the vaccine for this reason." Players are talking, "I didn't do it for this reason," and now a lot of the team, not even just the teams, just the cities of other teams are like, "Yo, so nobody is doing any performance. Like nobody, no athletes could be able to perform without taking the vaccine. Like for sure, San Francisco and New York, they're the two. Yeah, they're the two ones that's very, very heavy on it. So we have two exact cases when it comes to that because Andrew Wiggins tried to get exempt. he tried to fill out that religious exempt paperwork, and they said, yeah, you could get the fuck with me with that shit. They blocked that shit
That's what.
to
Yeah,
the
man.
seventh row. That's basically that's what they did. they looked at shit and said, yeah, buddy, we're not gonna give you an exempt because we gotta exempt you. We gotta exempt everybody, and you're not that special.
Yeah.
Hell no. So they
we
was
can
like,
do
listen, Andrew Wick is mad as hell. So basically, he's cannot play no home games until he gets the vaccine.
And won't get paid for him either. And he
And
won't get paid.
And the same thing with Kyrie. Kyrie's like, I don't want to take it. They're like, cool. We're not forcing you to take it, but just know there's consequences for your actions. Yeah, you're not gonna play any.
You know what one of them consequences is? You want to know what one of them consequences is?
What?
Having Ted Cruz and his squad pull up to your tweet and say they agree with you. That's a consequence.
No bull, man.
That was funny.
They pulling up deep. They pulling up 45 deep in them F-150s.
I'm dead. 45 deep in the F-150s. That's such a good sequence. It was like a Lil Wayne bar.
Pulling up in the tractor.
You got Rodney over here tripping.
We got the trucker ants.
We finally, this man finally found a trucker. He's been looking for that joint for months, bro. Glad to see it, bro.
Hey, somebody go tell that boy Earl.
Oh God, hell no.
Man, where Earl at?
we don't need Earl on here, bro. It's already enough foolishness.
We gonna get the trucker ants together. We gonna go mudding.
I'm dead.
This man said mudding. I'm dead. So
hey, I was just at the studio with that boy Earl. He dropping this new hit Shango. I love me some Bear.
Bro,
He finally started riding that jump, but not bear.
Hold on.
I said bear.
Hold on. Let me get into character. Y'all motherfuckers still dropping that dumbass track?
Yes, we dropping that goddamn single, boy.
No, stop it. Stop it now.
I love me so.
Bruh, when they sucked that shit to me in the car, bro, I was crying, laughing, bro. I was like, what is this nonsense, bro? I'm like, what in the Florida Georgia line is this, bro? I was like, what in the...
Hey, don't come from Florida Georgia line.
I just did.
Don't do that.
I just did. Heavily. They're not good. They're not that good to me.
You fucking nincompoop.
Yes. You can say what you want. I will never say they're good, bro. They're not good to me. And I'm not even a country music listener.
I understand.
They're trash. Like, bro,
I understand.
Yeah. Bad. But anyway, back on topic. So basically now we have a saga of players coming out and saying, yeah, like LeBron came out. And other players too, they was like, listen, I took it because it was the best action for me and my friends and my family. I didn't want any craziness going on. It was just a smart decision, which I respect. But what I hate now that I'm seeing on Instagram, people, oh, why y'all coming out now? Why y'all come out months ago? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yo, relax. Because it's not that deep. Number one, let it be. Stop being everybody's business. Everybody takes the vaccinations for different reasons. Everybody doesn't take the vaccinations for particular reasons.
Right.
You have a choice. It is a choice. It is not. This is not the fucking Holocaust where they're freaking pulling niggas off the street. Yeah, it's time for your vaccine and sticking shit in your arm. Like, no, they're not.
Yeah, like forcing. Yeah, doing some crazy shit.
No,
that'll be wild. There'll be a riot.
Can you imagine, like,
pulling niggas, coming to niggas' cribs and shit? Hey, are you vaccinated?
Can you imagine y'all just like driving down the highway? And the police fucking block up the highway. So anybody that hasn't been vaccinated, you gotta get out your cars right now.
Some World War Z shit. I was like, yeah, bro. That would be wild as hell. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I'd blow the shit out of me if I was driving. I was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, bro. I want him not even react in that situation. You can just sit there at this point.
We need to see your mind you, there's places that already do this shit. We need to see your vaccination card. Like, there's already places that do that. But like, imagine you chilling, you minding your own minute, you driving home from work. And the police fucking block off the highway. Say, yeah, we need some vaccination cards, or we gotta pull you out. And yeah, it's time to get the shot, man. We ain't playing with y'all motherfuckers no more. We gave y'all enough time.
Yeah, that's some third world country shit. And some countries really are like that.
That's some Mexico type shit, bro.
No, Philippines, bro. That's kind of like the Philippines, because literally when the pandemic just happened, the Philippines prime minister said, yeah, so if you go outside during this quarantine, yeah, you're getting shot on sight. He
Yeah,
literally
I
said
read
that, bro.
about that. I read about that. They
Hell,
was real like detaining
countries
people,
don't
bro.
play, man.
Like they was arresting people.
America, be blessed in America. We have
Right, bro.
freedom,
We got
man.
rights. We have rights and freedom that they
Rights as
expect some
humane
right.
rights. Some
Right.
countries,
Like some don't give, bro. They real life was out here arresting people just because they was going to work, bro. I was like, bro, that joke was funny. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like they have to go to work. They're like literally. What was that term everybody was using? What was that term? Jesus Christ, my head is going spinning. Important employees or something like that. Essential employees. There you go.
essential, yeah,
Yeah,
essential
essential.
workers.
They
Yeah.
like it was essential workers, and they were arresting them because they were out too late. Like it was crazy, bro. I'm like, yo, that joint, like America, they would never let that fly because everybody would start going crazy.
Yeah, I remember when I was working at Best Buy, they were trying to like give us little like we basically what they gave us little like
The paperwork, right?
yeah, I guess like paperwork
Documents.
like
Yeah.
like basically like a little hall pass where if we got pulled over, we could just show it to the officer and be like, yeah, I'm just coming from work.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Literally.
that's fucking wild.
In fact, yeah, I think even Mark came with me one time to work, and we were out like late as shit. Like, remember, it was that one day. It was crazy where I had like
Oh
an
yeah.
insane amount, and I said, bro, if the police come over, bro, just pull out that paperwork, bro. We good. Like,
Yeah.
we had the same thing, bro. Like, I literally had that joint. You know, they were like, hey, man, I'm a delivery driver, bro. Like, I know it's like 7 p.m., but I had like 100 stops. So you gotta give me mercy for that. They were like, what?
Right.
Like, I mean, what? One time I got pulled over, but in the van, bro. That's what made this shit crazy. In the van, bro. The Phil was like, yeah, you good? I'm like, bro, I'm literally coming from Montgomery County, and I just had like 80, 90 stops. He was like, bro, I feel you, bro. I'm gonna let you go. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm having a rough day. And so, yeah, like, best believe, if y'all were out during the time like last year, like, say y'all complain about this shit. 2020 was horrid. Like, yo, there was no traffic on the highway. There was zero traffic. I remember literally going to work, and I'm coming back in Silver Spring at 5:30 p.m. and there's no traffic, bro. What?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's unheard of, honestly.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
like Silver Spring. I'm literally coming from Bethesda, bro, at 5:30, and there's no traffic. Shit was great. But yeah, it's like it's just funny how certain countries treated COVID completely different. Which I feel like we should have actually done that because we'd be in a better place. But I'm not talking about that today. So the crazy thing that's happening now, like I said, I brought up the Andrew Wiggins, I brought up the Kyrie situation of where if they're not gonna be able to play home games, they're not gonna get paid for those home games, so they're losing probably half the money, half of their contract for the year.
Yeah, half that.
That's fuck that, bro. I just get it just because that's too much money to put on the table. I'm sorry, like especially the people that would tell, like, bro, this man Andrew Wiggins has a $33 million contract. Kyrie has a 37, like near $40 million contract. Like you're telling me
Big bag. You're
gonna lose, you're willing to lose $20 to $25 million because you want to be difficult, bro. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. It's just simply not worth it. And I get it because now we have this whole war between vax and unvax, and everybody has their reasonings.
Every day is something new.
It happens. It's been happening every day for months ever since. Now they're pushing it because now they're pushing little kids to take it, which I don't think that's very smart. And now they have even 65 to 70-year-old people that got the boosters for them. And I don't think that's a smart
I feel like that
decision.
booster's kind of rushed. Honestly, I feel like the booster in particular. I think
rushed.
that's rushed. I
Definitely
don't.
rushed.
Yeah.
I would not trust that at all. Like, what, bro?
Yeah.
Like I don't care how advanced
It's
the
just like, all
medicine
right,
you
like
have.
two, yeah, you 2 shots, yeah, good, but that boost, okay. Just let me see. I've been good with these 2 shots. Let's just see how yeah, man. Boosters,
And
I don't know.
I don't think this is even gonna be the worst of it. I think we're just seeing the beginning of the nastiness because me and somebody else, fan of the pod, appreciate you for listening. She knows who she is. We were talking about the potential government shutdown. I think I put it in the Tangman chat yesterday because it's something that a lot of people are not talking about. Because basically what happened, Senate passed a bill where they're basically trying to set the limit to lower the deficit because America's running out of money. You know how like for the past year, basically we've been having like corn shortage, money shortage, and everything. It attributes to that. So America's basically running out of money to print. So they're trying to find a way. Okay, let's lower the deficit so that we would be able to set time to print more money so we can pay off what we need to pay off. But the Republicans and the Democrats are kind of going back and forth. They're not able to make a decision. So literally, basically, by Friday, which is the first, mind you, if they don't make a decision, there's going to be a temporary government shutdown. So it's just one of those things. It's like we're seeing the effects of not only COVID, but just our current society. It's messing a lot of things up, and I feel like it's only the beginning because there's been a lot of fuck shit going on, man. It's crazy. Just thank the Lord or whoever you see as your higher power that every day you have a house over your head, you have a car to drive, you have a job. Because there's people out here losing their job, losing their property, everything. It's ridiculous. So what is you guys' opinion on where this could be headed in terms of like the NBA rules? Because I'm pretty sure San Francisco and New York are not the only cities that's gonna place this hard. Oh yeah, if you don't get the vaccination, you're not performing.
Well, I think what the NBA should do is kind of similar to what the NFL is doing, where if you don't get vaccinated, it's kind of like somewhere like, come back to me so I can get the rules right, so I can get the
Got you. Go ahead, Mark.
Also, luckily Bradley Beal, luckily the Wizards aren't really mandating this because Bradley Beal, he's also an anti-vaccinator. He kind of cleared up his comments, but he's not vaccinated yet. He's still kind of in question. So luckily for him, the Wizards in DC, they're not really mandating that for the home game. So Beal's another one. He ain't because Kyrie, Andrew Wiggins, they're not the only players because 90% of the players. So that 10% of NBA players, there's still a lot of them out there that are anti-vax, and we're probably going to see more and more of it coming. Like probably hearing their names more. It's the fact that it's Andrew Wiggins and Kyrie, two just big names and and for significant teams and everything. Hearing about them coming out, and they're at the actual two cities that are actually requiring players to get vaccinated. They're taking this thing very seriously. Like Bradley Beal is kind of catching a break with that playing in Washington. So NBA players basically, if it's different times, man, they had to adjust to the times. If they, went the full bag and want to fully perform in the league, and really, it's they earned their way in the NBA. It's really a privilege playing in the NBA, and when still with the millions, just do what you got to do to have everybody protected, and keep everyone healthy. It's for the bigger picture. If that's your own personal decision, okay, then you just have to. You can't play. You can't fully perform, man. Simple as that. It's for a reason. And from both sides, it's I can understand, but it's just unfortunate for the unvax. It's yeah, man, if you're not trying to protect the others around you, then granted you think you're fully protected, but if you're not trying to stop this from spreading, then yeah, you shouldn't be able to have this opportunity. Yeah, man, that's just me on that. Because this virus is real. And we're just trying to put a nip to it to go get back to normal, man. And these are the steps we have to take.
Well, the thing with because I just kind of just skimmed through this article, but one thing I want to say before I even get into it is the difference between the NBA and the NFL is with the NFL, you play a game one day out the week, so
that is true. Yep.
So I'm I'm the Eagles. Well, no, yeah, I'll just use the Eagles. I'm the Eagles. I'm at home against the Chiefs in Philadelphia, and I probably won't play again until next Sunday. And I know y'all have the Lions coming up. I don't know if it's next week or not, but I'll just use this as an example. Say next week you're flying to Detroit to play the Lions, but you won't have to fly out to Detroit until Friday or Saturday. Usually they leave the day before. So you're not doing the constant travel that is the NBA where we could be playing for the Wizards and our first game is here in DC, then tomorrow we're in Toronto, and then and then we gotta get on another flight and go to Philly, and then from that flight we're going to Cleveland, So I think what the NBA should do is be more strict with the testing for unvaccinated players. And I mean, there was already strict testings and stuff like that. Like they would test before practice, after practice, before games, after games, before they get on the plane, after they get on the plane, when they leave the hotel. They were testing a lot. So continue those strict testing mandates for, you know, the unvaccinated players, and just be like, yeah, you probably got to test like maybe like once a day, like when you get into the facilities, like right before you get into the facilities, you gotta take a test. But I think like in terms of breaking protocol for unvaccinated player, like because in the NFL, like if you're vaccinated, there really are no protocols for you.
Mhm.
Like you can kind of roam free. You know, you can do just about whatever you want. However, if you're unvaccinated, you still have to abide by the COVID protocols that were set in place last season.
Mm.
And I think it was like if you break protocol once, you know, of course, I think you miss 5 days, and you have to get 2 negative tests within those 5 days. And then you just miss, you know, and then you just miss that game, which, you know, you probably gonna miss the game. Most of the guys that are in COVID protocols, they end up missing the game. If you do it again, then, you know, you miss the game and you don't get a check. If you do it a third time, you know, and say you do come negative and this, that, and the fourth, well, now we're going to suspend you for multiple games and you're not getting paid. And just keep it going, like kind of like how like the disciplinary actions, you know, for when you're at work. You know, if you come in late at certain times, you call out a certain time, you do something on the, you do something that you're not supposed to do. There are steps that they take before they fire you. Mm. And that's basically what the NBA should do in terms of players not getting vaccinated, because like, again, it's not like the NFL where, you know, you're really only going to be traveling, you know, like twice a week, if that, depending on, you know, you probably have a home, you know, you probably have 2-3 home games in a row. So, you know, so it's different for the NBA with that, where, you know, you're constant travel. You're in a different city like every other day. So I just think they need to just be more strict and actually put like consequences, like real consequences. Cause that's kind of what we're doing now, like in the actual world, is like how you said, we're not gonna force you to take the vaccine. We recommend you do it. However, there are consequences that you will have to face if you don't get vaccinated. You can probably not be able to go into a restaurant with your friends because you're not vaccinated.
That's already a thing. That's already a thing.
Yeah, I know they do that. They're doing that up in New York. I don't know where else they're doing it, but you may not be able to go certain places if you don't have that vaccination card. And then, you know, you catch COVID, there's a greater chance of you to get put in ICU and God forbid pass away from COVID. So you're literally making a life or death situation. Like you're playing, like you're playing with fire if you don't get vaccinated, basically.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, it's really like the NBA. My bad, Evan. Yeah, I'll let you go.
And that's really what a lot of people are missing here, like because the unvaccinated, and I don't like, they look at the vaccinated people and think that that we think we're better than everybody. And it's like, no, like only thing we're saying is we're tired of this pandemic and we just want your dumb ass to get the shot. Like that's all it is. So basically it's like dang, what was I about to say? So back to these NBA players, and I'm gonna go to Aaron Wiggins for this. It's like he was in that press conference saying, "I'm gonna stand up for what I believe in," and then the reporter asked him, "Okay, what do you believe in?" And you know what what Aaron Wiggins said?
Andrew Wiggins, yeah, what'd you say?
Andrew Wiggins said, "That's none of your business," and it's like, bro. And honestly, I feel
funny as shit for that, bro. He is funny as shit.
And honestly, I feel like that's how a lot of the mindset, a lot of like the unvaccinated are. Like they feel like they're fighting like fighting for like a noble cause and a worthy goal.
They're basically saying like, leave me the fuck alone. That's what he said.
But in reality, a lot of them really just don't know what they're talking about, because it's like, bro, like I don't know what they think a vaccine does, but like I feel like one of the biggest misconceptions is that they don't know the difference between a vaccine and a cure. Basically, a vaccine is what you take before you get sick to stop you from getting sick. A cure is something you take after you get sick so that the sickness goes away. So that's the difference. And also they point out the whole, you can get vaccinated and still get COVID, like get the Trump card, like the vaccines don't work. Actually, again, what vaccines do is they train your body to fight against COVID, like to fight against viruses, in this case COVID, for years to come. And not only that, but bro, the vaccine actually don't stay in your system that long. Like your white blood cells find it and off it pretty much on site. Like this whole process is over in like hours, if that.
And there
I
goes
feel
your
totally
science
normal,
lesson.
man.
There goes your
For the
science
day.
lesson from the Zebra King.
The Zebra King.
DMV Zebra King, that is.
Zebra Kanga. That's like we stop. But nice conversation about that. But we're about to close off with some music topics. That's some quick hitters.
Oh
Quick
yeah, album of the year.
Yeah, album of the year. Honestly.
Okay. Let y'all go. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm gonna say Big Keem got that. I'm gonna say he got it.
I haven't listened to it. No, I can't even say that because I haven't listened to it though. But I know
It's pretty good.
is like fire as an artist. Yeah,
pretty good.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say the off season. That was my favorite album of the year. J. Cole.
You know
the
what?
Off season.
That's a strong contender. Like I kind of go back and forth between those.
We could talk
two.
about Donda and CLB, Certified Lover Boy, but the off season J. Cole. That's personally my favorite. Like you can call it like the best, but like we said, we heard so much from like same stuff from Dre. We already had the conversation about Drake and everything. Gave him his credit. Donda was different, but Kanye West, his style is just not my favorite though. J. Cole had that pure rap, vibe to his album consistently throughout. It's not one bet. Honestly, it's not one skip on the off season. I would say I would like really can remember.
That's true.
Certified Lover Boy had skips. Donda had a lot of skips. It was just some stuff when it was like, hey, no, I'm not vibing to this. So the off season to me, no skips. That's why I give it. That's why I give it that.
Mine is and Jake and it's kind of between like how you say, like you're kind of like teetering between Baby Keem and J. Cole. Man, J. Cole and Tyler the Creator. I think
Tyler's album was good too.
I think Tyler the Creator had the best album, like just musically, like not just from a rap standpoint, but just the music, the melody. Like I'm not gonna geek out, but
the creative aspect. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like just from an artistic,
Tyler is a creative artist.
From an artistic standpoint, that album is genius. That album is amazing. He has a song on there that's about, I think it's like 8 minutes long. However, and you kind of hear the 8 minutes on, you're like, oh, listen to that. Sanfa, remember when I got you hip to Cleo Soul?
Yes.
And how her songs like would change key and change like it would just change in like the middle of the song. It was like it's a bridge, but it's not a bridge.
Right.
Like that's basically what that song. I think it's called Sugar, So Sweet, something like that. I know he got Snow Allegra on it, but it's basically like 3-4 songs into one, and they all just blend in together, and you don't even you don't even realize that you're listening to just one full song.
Yeah, that's what makes it so beautiful.
Right.
And I see what. Oh, my bad.
Oh no, go ahead. I was done.
Oh yeah. No, I agree with you because I think honestly Tyler the Creator. Honestly, I like how he's been kind of talking out with these interviews too about because we had the whole thing with between him and DJ Khaled, the controversy saying his album definitely did better than DJ Khaled's album, and Tyler the Creator, I think he deserves more credit as an artist because he can actually rap and like make music in different styles, in his like different creative styles. And we also heard Tyler Creator went 808. He can easily rap on 808s. So yeah, Tyler, he as an artist overall, he's really been like putting out a lot of content over the past decade, especially with I can't think of the old group names, but we all know about the Odd Future, that old group from back in 2011. Yeah. So yeah, that's a pretty good pick with Tyler. And he also has his song with Maxo Cream that I was surprised to hear him drop that. That's pretty good. He was just straight rapping on 808s. And I was like, this man Tyler can really switch up, his style of music, like a whole nother genre. So yeah, I give it that. I do give him credit for that. And I actually may check it out though, after this podcast. And the Baby Keem one, I see that just dropped too. So that's why I'm gonna definitely give that a listen. That one just dropped. That's why
it's crazy because even in Tyler's Future days, it was just like that nigga could rap. Like he could legitimately spit. But the thing is, like
off the dome too.
Like our Future was just known just for the antics and stuff that they did. And then like if you listen to Tyler's last album before last, Igor, like that's where he kind of tapped into his real, granted I didn't really listen to his earlier albums, but
you're saying
but his last 2 albums, you could tell he really, really tapped into that artistical side of himself, like just being an artist, like just it being actual, like to me, that's music. Like not saying like CLB, Donda, because Donda, like from a music,
Donda was different too.
Like just from an instrumental standpoint, it was so beautiful.
Great, yeah, it's great. That's why I give Donda the beat, the producing more credit. And I like how he kind of went to the gospel little aspect too with Donda. I like how he did that too. He makes the gospel with the 808s. We've been hearing that from Kanye, and he's kind of like mastered that a little bit. So that's why I like how Kanye switched it up on Donda. But Donda just has some skips. He's just like all the chants on there. I just don't like that. That do the album vibe off to me, but
right. Yeah, the chants was kind of crazy.
It was that first part.
But the first song throws everybody off, bro. Like I've not heard one person that's listening. They're like, what is going on here?
You don't know what you enter into. I'm about to enter into some kind of secret organization. Is Kanye accepting us? Like, bro, I got scared. I'm like, what
a cult. Dead. Man. Evan, sir, are you there?
His connection, it's not going off and on, all episode. Yeah, he's been lagging out.
Hopefully, I mean, hey, it's all good. But y'all got anything else?
He is in the CIAA football chat right now, though. I think he's probably talking in that too, because he's a part of that convo on the Twitter space. I might just join that actually.
Y'all got anything else before? Y'all got anything else before y'all want to close it out for the week?
I want to say one thing.
Too much.
I want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
I ain't never and I come on this podcast every week, and I've said Arsenal stinks. Okay, Arsenal started off the Premier League season 0-3, 0-3. Okay,
I heard the pain in your voice.
3 abysmal losses. I can take Chelsea, I can take Man City, but fucking Brentford. The fuck is a Brentford? Okay,
like one unknown club, like a club that doesn't even get
Yeah.
talked
Bro,
about.
I've never even heard
team
that
that
club,
just-
No,
bro.
I've seen
The
him.
team
I've seen him
that's-
on FIFA. Actually, I actually heard of Brentford on FIFA.
a team that is the team that if I'm playing with Arsenal in a career mode, I'm playing them in the FA Cup and I'm whooping their ass. That's the kind of team that they are.
Kind of like a team to put you over a little bit, you know.
Yeah. And we sat here and we lost them. Granted, Brentford's actually looking pretty good because they just went toe to toe with Liverpool.
Ooh.
And Liverpool is pretty damn good this
You don't know about
this year.
Liverpool.
But regardless of that, ever since then, we've ran the table three straight wins, and a beautiful 3-1 win at home this past Saturday against Tottenham, who are our arch rivals. Tottenham, Arsenal. Think of that as Tottenham, Arsenal. Think of that as like Washington, Philly.
Okay.
Think of it like that.
Interesting.
Because
they're
just I'm gonna make this quick. There are
Gotcha.
there are 4 big Premier League clubs in London.
Mm-hmm.
You have Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 big clubs in London is Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. Crystal Palace stinks. They've stunk for a long time. I don't know how they've remained in the Premier League. Although they got my guy Zaha, who needs to come to Arsenal, but that's another story. Chelsea's in South London. Arsenal and Tottenham are both in North London, so they have that cross-town rival type thing.
How Brooklyn and the Knicks have
that's really actually that's more accurate.
Yeah,
Brooklyn and
Nets and Knicks.
And so you know, we just came out and like we've been a laughing stock for the longest time, and people say that the Premier League is the top league in the world because you have great clubs like Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, Man and Man City, all to give you that that top club in the world feel. And then you got teams like Leicester, West Ham, Everton, Wolves, who are like, they're not going to win the league, but they're fun to watch. You know, they're inspiring. And then you just have Arsenal and Tottenham just for comic. That's basically.
I'm sorry, just the way the tone change. He was like, yeah, you just have these 2 teams that just fucking make your blood pressure go up and down. Like, if you're a fan of them.
No. See, well, Arsenal, and I know Evan can attest to this because he feels that way about basically every team in Washington. When it comes to Arsenal and what they do and when they lose, I'm so numb to it.
That's the way they lose.
I mean, honestly, as far as like every team in Washington, the fan base I feel like is closest to being numb is the Wizards, because dog, when you think about it, Washington football team fans, Washington football team has been losing for longer than any other team in DC, but yet every time they lose, people are mad. Like, they're genuine. Like, they try to play it off like they accepted it, but really they're still mad. And then the Nats, when they lose, people get upset. The Caps, when they lose, people get upset. When the Wizards lose, a lot of fans around here just go like, well, it's another loss.
Because the sad thing when it comes to, the Wizards, and I'm going to close off with this statement, why we've kind of been numb, because one, we were bad for a long time. And then two, I brought up the whole Gilbert Arenas thing where we were a fun, competitive team, but we weren't going anywhere. And then we kind of dipped down back to mediocrity. We got John Wall, we got Bradley Beal, we got Otto Porter. We thought we were building this core and we were sending up. So it basically was looking like, okay, we're going to be a competent team. Lo and behold, like I said, John Wall gets injured and we kind of fall back down. And now we're kind of climbing back up. So it's kind of like what the Woods has been like this roller coaster. It's like, yeah, we're good. No, yeah, no. So it's like when your fan base is up and down like that, it's like, and for a long time, mind you, we're talking about ever since basically what the 2000s to now. It's like you get used to that. The fans now, I feel like that are like numb. They were numb to a lot of the pain until recently was Knicks fans because it was so bad for literally majority of our lifetimes. The Knicks have been a bad team. They literally, I can even name the part. They were only good in what 99 because 99 that's when they went to the finals. They were good in the early 2010s because of Melo. Like, and not even all of it, just like literally a few years after like 2013, they didn't make the playoffs. And then this previous season that just happened. So I feel like if anyone gets there, it would be New York Knicks fans.
Yeah, and just one last thing. When we were getting whooped by I think we lost the city like 5-0, which is 5-0. You could literally hear Arsenal like someone recorded Arsenal fans like because in soccer they sing. So the fans are literally singing, "We lose every week. We lose every week. You're nothing special. We lose every week."
That's hilarious.
Is it?
That is actually funny. That's funny and then sad at the same time.
Hey, I told you, comic relief.
Mm, definitely compliment.
Told you, comic relief.
But shout out to everybody that supports us. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for spreading the love. Thank you for spreading the word.
Know the game.
We are almost at 1.6. The goal is to hit 2K by the end of the year. We
I
have
can see it
about,
happening.
and I can see it definitely happen. We have what, maybe 13 weeks left in
12.
2021? 12. Okay,
12.
12. So we're literally going to hit 52 at the final week of December. That's great. That's beautiful. So we have 12 weeks. We can get the 2K. I know y'all could do it. I know y'all could push your initiative. Y'all could
Yeah, because it's
get
been the content's been rolling out, man. The
Mhm.
listeners been going up. It's been getting a lot of support. Shoot, a lot of promotion. Yeah, thanks for the support for real. It means a lot, honestly, just
Oh
to
no,
do
that
this.
that definitely, man. It helps to push all of us to continue to be better, continue to grow, continue to take steps forward. And just to let you guys know of like personal things going on, I am moving. I'm not moving far. I'm moving to Upper Marlboro. If you guys know PG, that's not far. That's about 20 minutes from Bowie. And my goal is there's a big shed in the back. Like when I'm talking about this shed is huge, y'all. Like it's like a whole living space. I guess the goal is to turn that into the podcast studio. Because right now I'm in an apartment. I can't really do anything. But there we can get the nice, beautiful setup. You can see all four of our beautiful, lovely faces in the same place at the same time. And the guests as well. I have probably mics for the guests as well. Mics and extra chairs and everything. So pretty sure by next year the goal is to have that setup fully up and running. Of course, got to make sure the tool shed is inspected, make sure electrician comes through, make sure it gets all the wiring that we need, right? Get a nice and insulated, get some nice paint the inside nice and beautiful, get probably some jerseys, get some nice paintings up. The goal is by January, February 2022, Three on the Outlet podcast is in person, it's live, and continue to make strides forward, man. I'm looking
And we gonna keep it rocking.
Keep it rolling, keep it rocking. Shout
And
out
we got
to
some stuff in the making too. I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, you good. We got some stuff in the making. Save the zebras. Don't let them die. Save the DMV zebras, man. Or else Evan's gonna come after you. He's the zebra king. He must make sure his subjects are good in his kingdom. But yeah, we got a lot of things coming out, a lot of things rolling. And you guys have a beautiful and lovely week. We are out.